Hello YouTube. It's Sunday, September 10th, 3:51 p.m. I'm sitting at the Burger King, 16th Street in Buckeye, and they're taking way longer than normal on my two Whopper Juniors. Oh, I think she's coming with them now. Thank you. Cashier was super cute. Oh, I love how there's like most of the time just no traffic at this intersection. Really wish I could time travel to what this intersection looked like in the 1970s. I can't even find pictures of this area from the 1970s. So I'm practically to work, and as I said, I'm like showing up 2 hours late. This has somehow become acceptable. Yeah, I didn't sleep well last night and woke up at... I did wake up at a little bit after 1 in time to get down here by 2, but I just felt so groggy. And yeah, since the blowing out the tire on the SUV incident, I'm just not even risking coming down here drowsy. So the level of business that we've had, it doesn't seem to be a problem with me showing up 2 hours late. So I think half the people think I'm supposed to show up before at this point, and most of the time when I'm here, like the big boss Rob isn't here, and the big boss doesn't really know what goes on with MLS, so there's that. Anyway, I always seem to be appreciated when I'm here, so I'm appreciating that I'm here. Nothing really much else to say. I might talk more about what happened this weekend, but in a nutshell, went to Wonolo and had a good time singing. I was glad I decided to come out of my place. Never heard back anything more that night from Michelle, which is a little disappointing. And consequently, ended up taking Priscilla home, staying the night there. Not that it was a night alone with her and I, because for reasons I absolutely can't explain, April was crashed on the couch. A few times I went out there, she was just laying on her back, nothing but like a half shirt and panties, and good God, that was distracting. She had a couple other women flirting with me in the bar, and I might talk more about that later, but right now I need to get my ass ready for work. So this is an extremely minor thing, but it's something I want to make a note of. This scooter's been here for several weeks. The light on this Lime scooter outside the Hertz automotive shop has changed from a steady green light to a blinking white light. And that particular scooter, let me turn around so you can get a farther distance view from it. It's been sitting there on that bike rack where I put it, I want to say 2 weeks ago. It might have been longer than 2 weeks ago. It was one of the time periods where I was using a 3-day Lime pass and the SkyTrain to go to work and back. And since I figured I had my Lime pass, on my lunch break, I looked to see if there was any nearby scooters. Saw there was, and that one was sitting over at Sky Harbor Circle and Buckeye. So I walked over to it, and then I rode it over to the Burger King, got some burgers, went over and got some cold bottles of tea from the price gouging gas station convenience store behind it, and then I rode that scooter back to right where you just saw it. And I'm seriously curious if what the deal is with the blinking light is that the white blinking light is an indication to the staff of Lime that when they go to put the battery in it, they need to move it somewhere else, that it's sat too long. As I've said before, I was a juicer for Lime for about 1.5 years, closer to 2 years, and something I really enjoyed, but I feel like they really mismanaged it when I was here, and there are ways that they could have done it better to make it more profitable. And one of the things I think they could have done better was not leaving scooters in places where nobody was using them for extended periods of time. So it looks like there's some kind of an automated effort to do that, but wow, that thing sat not being used for way too long. Anyway, eager to see if it's still there at the end of my shift. So, just clocked in right at 4 o'clock, so most people that appears like I'm on time. I missed working with Andre. That's kind of a bummer. And I noticed right as I was writing in on the time clock, writing in on the timesheet. They've got a time clock, which is this like fingerprint digital thing, and then we've also got a paper timesheet. Lately, they haven't been putting one out. There was actually a fresh one out there for maintenance drivers, and only one name on it, Andre, and I'm bummed. He took off about a half hour ago, so I missed getting to work with him. So yeah, if I'd have shown up on time, I got an hour and a half of like working in tandem with him, which would have been nice. It's going to be rolling solo all night. And as I was writing my time there, I saw the angry elf waddling up. So I'm planning on doing absolutely no electric vehicles tonight. Beyond what I do with them as just a maintenance driver. I mean, granted, if I get one that's in the gatekeeper line, and the only thing I can find wrong with it is it needs charged, I am going to put it on the charger, because it just makes no sense to do anything else with it. I think his recent kind of anger towards me is just stemming from, and maybe I'm off base here, but just my gut feeling is I feel like he feels I've stepped into his lane and that I'm somehow threatening his job. Which, it could be that. It could be that he's just got a very specific way that he does his stuff. Because he's shown me the stuff that needs done with the electric vehicles, but he's never really shown me, like, what his workflow is. Like, I haven't rode shotgun with him and him shown me the way that Keontae and Andre and the former two night drivers who were both fired that resulted in me moving to nights, the way that they did this job. He never really did that. He just showed me what needs to be done, and then some of the stuff I kind of figured it out on my own. And from what I'm gathering from the Hertz people, I'm doing a phenomenal job with it, and maybe he feels threatened by that. But I'm thinking a lot of it could just be that he's got a different flow, and me doing it the way that I flow that is kind of throwing him off. I could see and understand that too. Anyway, it doesn't look like it's overly busy today, at least not yet, and just bringing gas-powered vehicles up and either putting them in the flip lane, or in the case of this one where it's one I know where it goes. By the way, I'm in a giant Chevy Tahoe, and there's a section where these oversized killing machine SUVs go, and I'm in one of the spots. But hey, you know, at least he taught me what to do with these slips here, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in the system, and then head to a maintenance line. It's going to be a good night of work. I'm actually looking forward to it. 2 days off without any work is more than I like to have, which is what I had. I did get offered HelloFresh delivery last night, but I didn't see it until I was getting ready to leave the bar, and at that point it had been on my phone for about 25 minutes. Now, when I looked at it, the job was still available, but I would have had roughly 30 minutes to get there. And I was wearing flip-flops, so shit. I'm wearing flip-flops. Well, that's problematic. I don't believe I came to work in flip-flops. I think I need to bring a maintenance car down and clock out and go resolve that situation. Yikes. Oh, me. Yeah, I was wearing flip-flops. There's no way I could have done, that job with flip-flops. I would have had to have gone home, changed clothes, get ready, and then head out. There's no way I could have done it. And plus, Priscilla had stayed with me, and her ride had left, so I was also her ride home. So for me to take her home, go home, get properly ready for work, and then drive out to HelloFresh delivery, I would have been late, and I can't deal with the penalties of being late on Wonolo. Even though I think if I had contacted the manager, he would have been perfectly fine. I think it would have been a problem with Wonolo that would have been beyond what he could fix. So anyway, I need to get my ass back to work, and then I need to get my ass back home and get my damn shoes. God, I can't believe I did that. Hello and welcome back, YouTube. So hopefully my forward-facing camera on the iPhone 6S Plus functions for most of this video because it's pretty dicey lately. 4:23 p.m. I left the Earthyard right at 4:20. I didn't clock out. I'm just going to treat this as my lunch break. The thought of taking my lunch 20 minutes into my shift seems kind of insane, but I'm allowed a 30-minute off-site lunch, so that's fine. I have my burgers, so it's not like I'm going to be starving as I go the next 7.5 hours or so when I get back without, you know, being able to go and get something to eat. I'm also supposed to get 2 10-minute breaks during the duration of the shift. I never really specifically take those. I just figure cumulatively I probably do 20 minutes worth of just kind of fucking off during the duration of the shift, and I've just kind of like left it at that. Wow, I sure hope my video doesn't come out looking as bad as it's... Oh yeah, that's what's going on. My camera's freaking out. You know, I said from the moment I started recording this that it was dicey with this camera to see how it worked. Well, that's how it worked. And I've pretty much decided I can't afford to do anything about this phone or my other iPhone until my next payday. So yeah, it's just going to be like this between now and Friday. So, not the first time the video quality has gone to complete shit on this vlog due to low quality phones or dysfunctioning cameras. So, thanks to all those that have been sticking around for that. So I would have loved to have told a supervisor that I was, you know, what I was doing and stuff, but I don't have any. I mean, I know Rob isn't there on Sunday, so that's a given. I'm not sure if Anthony, night lead Anthony, not to be confused with Angry Elf Anthony, because I know he's there. Whoa! Did y'all see the skid marks right there? Or somebody didn't go right, didn't go left, and just skid right into the signs? I hope the video captures that. I hope it was a moment when my camera wasn't freaking out, because wow. I always wonder when I see skid marks from an accident like that, like why and how that happened. Like, was it just gridlock going forward to the left onto the 51 and gridlock going to the right onto the 202, so he had no choice but to just slam on his brakes and right up the middle and plow into the signs? And I hope the person who plowed into the signs was aware of the breakaway technology, the breakaway bolts in the bottom of those signs. Or maybe it would have done him good to experience the terror of thinking that they weren't going to just break away when he hit them. But anyway, not very often I see skids quite like that. So as I was saying, yeah, I didn't see any MLS lead to let them know that I was going to take my lunch at an unusual time to go home and get shoes, but I figured it was just best. So after I brought the giant SUV and put it in its reserve spot. Oh, I should mention this. So after I brought it to its reserve spot, went to the machine and put it into the system. And as I was walking from there, I saw this on a Kia EV6. It was funny because the other day I was talking about how if an EV is dead, there's nothing that can be done other than to tow it to where it can be charged up. And apparently I was wrong. This looks like some sort of a portable charging device. So the equivalent of a small tank of gas to rescue a gas-powered vehicle that has run out of fuel. So that's fascinating. I had no idea that was a thing. I've never seen that before. I don't know who handles that there at Hertz. Obviously that's something that belongs to Hertz. And as you can see from this picture, somebody has flipped up the... Apparently that guy doesn't know what lane he needs to be in. Somebody has flipped up the wiper, which generally speaking means that the key is lost, but I'm thinking in this instance it was probably done in lieu of flipping up the hood to indicate that it was dead, because if it's dead, you can't open the hood. I have no idea what's under the hood in an EV6 anyway. I would assume an additional trunk, or as Tesla likes to call it, a frunk. I wonder at what point people are going to start calling the trunk on a classic Volkswagen Bug a frunk. You know, I thought that was an asinine term when I first heard it, and it's really grown on me. I love that you got two buttons on the tablet. I mean, don't get me wrong, I hate the tablets and Tesla 3s, but I do find it amusing how you open the trunk, or the frunk, and they're labeled as trunk and frunk. Now, of course, the labeling does confuse people because it says frunk open and trunk open, and obviously that's misled people into thinking that they're open and not latched. There's an electric vehicle information sheet that they try to tuck in every electric vehicle that's going out for rent, prepared by Hertz, and that's one of the things that's covered in it. Like, oh no, it's supposed to say that. That means that the trunk is, when it says trunk open, that's to let you know that the trunk is closed. You click that to open the trunk, or if you want to open the trunk in the front, you click the one that says frunk open. Interestingly enough, when you open the trunk, it completely pops open. And it doesn't pop, it like mechanically, like there's a motor and stuff that opens it. Whereas when you open the frunk, it just pops and sits there about an inch where you can pull it open. I'm sure that's a safety feature in case some idiot bumps that while they're going down the road. Although you'd think, as a safety feature, that the electronics simply wouldn't open it when you're going down the road. But who knows? I've never tried doing that because that seems like an absolutely asinine thing to try while you're going down the road. Oh, so my air conditioning actually kind of working, and I noticed my temperature gauge is going up. That vehicle right there in front of me, where I'm turning left, I don't know for certain, but my gut feeling is that it got... That looks like a cop. That it got damaged like that while it was parked there. I mean, people have plowed into that man's front wall more times than I can count. But yeah, it looks like maybe somebody slammed into his parked car. Whoever owns that property, insurance claims from people that drive straight into his property as opposed to going around the corner have got to be a primary source of income for it. Because I've lost count of how many times I've seen evidence of his fence being caved in by vehicles since I've lived here. But yeah, it's the first time I've seen a car that looked like it was plowed into there. Actually, you know, it seems like I saw another one that was hitting the side that looked like it was hit from being parked there as well. But, you know, I could see parking vehicles that you really don't care about that much and just kind of crossing your fingers like, well, some asshole fucking totaled it so I can get a check. I mean, honestly, if I lived there, that's where I'd have my Benz parked. Anyway, I'll be right back. I hate my goddamn shoes. I don't even have enough time to enjoy being at home. I mean, it takes me just shy of 15 minutes to drive here.